Everybody, and welcome to my channel again. Thank you so much for passing by. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you very much for watching my videos. You are greatly appreciated. Now we saw the performance of Alkaline, basically snippets of the performance, and it was great. It was well received, well respected. Everybody was cheering, and it was just a beautiful moment. Persons were singing his song, and his showmanship on stage, great. For an artist who is so quiet, who stays in recluse, who stays by himself, who doesn't put out much to the internet or social media in 2025, the era of social media, it's very fantastic to know that he can come on stage and he's well received, well respected, and he gives performance, and he executes well. And many persons can't really attest to doing something like that. If you notice, many artists out there, they're all about controversies, like I've said before, to stay relevant. And you can't blame them. What works for them is what works for them. Many persons do not have the engine behind them. Many persons do not have the strategists behind them, the management team, the persons who can organize things for them or put them out there in the spotlight to have a good promotion for them, especially when they're putting out a project. And so I can really understand, especially when you are a young artist coming up and you are using your capital, your resources basically to push yourself and to push your project. It takes a lot of money because image, you have to work on that. You're going to have to buy clothes. If you're a man, you have to groom your hair. Woman, you always have to do your hair, your nails, your makeup, all these type of things. People are doing their teeth. They want it white. They want it pretty. They want it pearly. And you have to keep your body intact, cinch waistline, broad hip, big butt, all these type of things that are out there for artists, because the world is looking at you physically before they have any interest whatsoever in wanting to hear you. And like I said, if you don't have a strategist behind you who can push your music via audio and make it reach out there before they even see the product, then it's really going to be what you basically have working with and what you can work with the limited resources that you have. So I can't say I really blame a lot of these artists. To be an artist, especially in dancehall field, it takes a lot of hype. It takes a lot of big ego, whether you're male or female. It takes a lot of big ego, and it's heavily demanded, because if you stay as Alkaline in recluse, your music may not go out there. You may not have a name for yourself. You may not have that sound or that impact, or people remember you. Yes, something may escape through the gate and it goes viral, like scammer them there. Me I tell us them there. You understand me? That went through the gate. However, for him to create the same impact with another song is next to impossible. Without the engine, without a push, without management structure, without heavy resources, and payola and all of that, it's not going to be as simple as how it was. Just like this artist from, I think he was from Granville, Bomson. And it went viral, much like Countryman or the late Gully Bop. His video went viral, and it took off from there because people picked him up, the Heavy D team and stuff like that, and decided to manage his career. Gave him a Shauna controller, Shauna Chin at the time, and they just went out with one controversy after the other, putting their so-called relationship out there in the spotlight and have people saying whatever just to go viral all day, every day. And so that's what I'm saying. For you to be an artist like Alkaline, is going to take much doing. Remember, Alkaline didn't start out staying by himself. He started out creating an impact. He started out, making a lot of noise with his music and stuff like that. And they were eager to interview him. but at the same time, he said things that, didn't really sit well with a lot of persons and stuff like that. People were interested in knowing if he tattooed his eyeballs or were they contact lens and all of those type of things. But it was what he constantly said or what he had been saying on the interview that riled some people up or ruffled a few feathers. And because of that, his name kept in people's mouth and he kept pushing his music. And so many producers out there who are giants or who are giants who are interested in working with him. They like what he stood for. They like his individuality and all of that. It's not so easy, like I said, for other artists out there, especially when you don't have an engine behind you and you're funding your own bill, you're fitting your own bill. It's not as simple as it is. It can be done. It can be done, providing that the mass of the people really like you, you're well received, or you just by buena suerte, you have that energy that people really like or people take onto, and they have an interest in wanting to know more or wanting to hear more from you. So it does happen. And, but it's going to be a little bit more tricky if you don't move with anybody. Like I said, to be an Alkaline, he's the first of his kind. And it's going to take a very good while before you find an Alkaline again, or a second Alkaline, or Alkaline 2.0 again, because someone like that just started a wave and carved a lane for himself and cement himself in dancehall. And it takes real talent also. So it's not just about you being an individual, you having an engine behind you. You have to have some source of strong talent that you can use to push what you are doing, which is music. And so I commend him for a great performance and the crowd receiving him. And I just love it. It was just a beautiful moment. His fashion and stuff like that, I always speak on color. Is the reason for wearing blue in this atmosphere and time. And we cater for it, you understand, and everything. I like it. And I like how he attire himself. He's growing. He speaks to growth. You don't see his underpants. You don't see anything sagging on him anymore, anything like that. He's not about that life. There's growth. There's maturity in him. When he performs his appearance, like I say, on stage and his presence and stuff, it shows maturity and people respect that. Now, on the argument of Bounty Killer getting booed off stage, you get, as Nicki Minaj say, you get what you pay. That's, you get what you pay for. You at some point, you will be stopped. If you don't know when to stop, you will eventually be stopped. You went on an interview with DJ Academics, and out of all the things that you could have easily said, you chose to say things that were questionable and rather disrespectful about Alkaline. And you believe strongly that, persons are going to take onto it and receive you. Things and time have changed. Everything has an expiration date. Unfortunately, Bounty Killer refused to accept that. Everything has an expiration date. And if you do not know when to stop, then you will be stopped. It's just that simple. So for you to go on an interview, and even academics ask you, why is it so polarizing when speaking about Alkaline and stuff like that? I mean, you could have easily well said, we don't get along. I don't agree with a lot of things that he came into music saying, but he is doing his own thing. He's talented, and we leave it at that. You understand? Next question. But you have a moment wherein, because you have ill feelings towards someone, you want to be very disrespectful and you want to tear him down and all of that, and say that Alkaline told you to go and suck your mother. You publicly disrespected the artist, and the artist disrespected you privately. You choose to make it known to the public. Alkaline did not. We didn't know that Alkaline went into your inbox and disrespected you. You made it known to the public because you came for him publicly. You came for him publicly, but you want him to play the bigger person. Why? He's way younger than you. Alkaline, you're old enough to be Alkaline's father. You're old enough to be his father. And yet you want him to be the bigger person. You want to disrespect him publicly, and you want him to honor you. You're not going to live long enough to see that day coming. And many years later, you went on an interview of recent and you decided to do the same thing, which is being disrespectful. You understand? And so Alkaline just did not bother to answer you. He did not bother to answer you or acknowledge you. He just spoke when you went to the performance, when you went to the Barclay Center to perform. Again, the same thing with DeMarco. DeMarco came out and DeMarco came on stage. Yes, he bum rushed the stage. Well, I wouldn't call it bum rush because at the end of the day, you had a performance, but at the time, you guys were not saying anything. And then he asked for another rhythm. And you said no, but because there was a dead ear, we saw it. It was actually a dead ear. And that's why he asked for something else, you know? So he may have came out on the stage unexpected and stuff like that, but that's your artist. That's your artist. So I would think that you would be appreciative of him coming out there and giving you some sort of support. So he just do 2 songs and say, big up yourself, DeMarco. You understand me? Looking forward to talk to you later or to this and that. You know, you could, there are smart ways where you could, you know, turn him down smartly. You understand me? Without the crowd realizing what is actually taking place. But it was rather disrespectful. And then DeMarco did a whole entire video speaking on what really took place up to him going on stage. Then he incorporated years ago when you did something similar to him, embarrass him publicly. So these things are really adding up. Persons are making excuses that Bounty Killer was never booked for the show. It was only 2 weeks after. Persons were walking out when Bounty Killer came on stage. Alkaline fans were walking out, but it was like 100. It's actually when he's singing the Billy Ocean song. That's when people start walking. People were walking out because they do not support Bounty Killer and they aren't into him. And that's just it. It's one thing after the other and people were just not having that moment. And that's where it's at. You can skip fences and you can make excuses, but you cannot deny the obvious. If such is even the case, let's say all things are equal and it has nothing to do with Alkaline fan base or fans. Why is it that when Alkaline was performing, then the Bounty Killer fans didn't walk out? Why did they cheer on? Why did they support him? Why did they sing with him and all of that while he was performing on stage? You see, you guys want to skip fences, and that's why I said a lot of things speak to the manhood of men, and why, you know, a lot of women just don't bother with you because you guys just are some jellyback. Like you can't stand 10 toes down and speak on the obvious. You understand? The people are just not having it. They aren't interested in him. He's disrespecting Alkaline, and so his supporters are just not having it, and that's it. It's going to speak when he's booked for a show. Worse, he was booked for a show that Alkaline was actually booked for. So what the hell do you think was going to happen? You understand? Then he's threatening the artist. Remember that he also threatened him, that he has to defend it when he sees him. Like, excuse me, you are threatening an artist. This is 2025. That's not something that you want to do. You are a legend. Explain why is it people do not speak about Shabba the way they speak about Bounty Killer. Not even Ninja Man, with all the controversies behind Ninja Man, and he's currently in prison. Why is it that people do not speak about Ninja Man that way? Why is it people do not speak about Super Cat that way? But when it comes to Bounty Killer, people just happen to talk about you that kind of way. Why is it so? Because you want to be a bully and you want to disrespect the other artists who you believe are not your protege. They didn't come up under you and they're not honoring you. They're not speaking on you. It's not about honor. They're just not speaking on you. You're saying that somebody has to inspire you. He doesn't have to tell you who inspire him. What's the issue? He doesn't have to. How many persons have speak on people who inspire them and they turn around and disrespect the person just the same? You inspire Vybz Kartel and help him to get a breakout, and he disrespected you the most. But yet you're not going on an interview. I'm not sure why DJ Academics did not ask you about it. That's another thing. Why do they keep asking you about Alkaline and they're not asking him about Vybz Kartel when Vybz Kartel disrespected him? Who cares if they're on good page? It's an interview. And people want clarification as to why it went extreme left. So, Bounty Killer, your day has come where people are just had enough of you, and you know, you're older person, and the Bible speak of the foolish elder, and if you come so far in life and you haven't learned, then it's just a sad situation. Like I said, if you don't know when to stop, then you are going to be stopped, and that's just about it. That's all I have to say. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day. God bless you. Bye-bye. And another thing, Bounty Killer needs to know that Alkaline fan base are not like any other fan base out there. We're not the type that just gonna cheer on an artist because you don't like them, or cheer on an artist that you don't like, and that's it. And so you can use your mouth, or you can garner an audience to help to tear down the artist, and it's just going to be another day. It's not like that. We strike. You strike, we will strike you down. And that's just it. It's just that simple. It's either you're going to stop or you will be stopped. If you notice, Alkaline fan base are people who read a lot, are people who are knowledgeable of a lot of things. And I give ourselves credit. We pat ourselves on the shoulder because there's so much things out there in life to grasp. And if we take the time out to listen and listen carefully, we'll understand life a little bit clearer. If you notice in Millions, which is Alkaline, last song that he did a few days ago, put out with Intense, in the end he said to the young youths coming up, keep the peace. He's sending out a message. That's a very strong message, to keep the what? The peace. Keep the peace. You understand? And if you're an older artist like Bounty Killer, who you have created a whole column for yourself. You invented column to begin with when it comes to dancehall. And this is how you want to go out. You want to sit on an interview and speak of something that happened many years ago. You understand that Alkaline did not made known to the public. You choose to. And then you're reverting to it and saying that he has to defend it. When you see him, you're threatening the artist. Like, come on, do you really think that his fan base, Alkaline fan base, are going to take it? Obviously, you don't know what time it is. You do not know what time it is. And I spoke about this at the Bible Speak of the Foolish Elders. You have to know when to stop. You have to know when to stop. And this is such a sad day for you. If this is how you want to go, then by all means, continue. You're going to go out and your name die with you. Your name die with you as a disgraced dancehall artist that nobody respects. What do you think, that you're going to come out and you're going to be disrespectful to the younger artists out there? Alkaline has worked his ass off. Whether we like, dislike, honor, dishonor, he has worked his ass off. We have seen so many persons trying to form the group to go up against him, to clash him, and all of them were taken out. What do you think he's going to do? Roll over and allow you to disrespect him and continue and continue and continue? Alkaline is a man. He's a 30-plus-year-old. He's not 25 anymore. So you have to get over it and move on. Focus on your life. You should be celebrating life with your children, grandchildren, going out in the park, relaxing on a vacation somewhere nice. You're wondering about stirring up feud with a younger artist and not knowing that they actually have a very strong fan base that stands 10 toes down behind him. We're not going to tolerate it. We are not going to tolerate it. And it's such a sad situation that you, being an elder and older person, you don't seem to get it. You don't get it at all. You understand me? And so because you don't get it, then you just will be stopped in your path. That's just what's happening. We read a lot and we listen. And because we read and we listen, we have a clear understanding of life. And there's so much more to learn. There's so much more to grasp. And we put ourselves in a position to learn as we go along. Not to be pompous and overly aggressive and attacking everybody out there. We don't behave like that. But if you strike, we are going to strike you down. And that's what's going to happen to you should you continue.